Dear student, very good morning to all of you. Dear student, today we are going to discuss about 26th July, the Hindu newspaper analysis. So our discussion basically aims at finding which article is most important for our examination and which part of our examination. If something is given, whether it is important for our prelims, whether it is important for our mains, and which part of the mains, whether it is important for GS1, and in GS1 where we can write, whether it is right in conclusion, or whether it we can write as a data in support of something. So that is what our objective. It is not about only reading the newspaper. My discussion basically deals with how we can put all this information that is given in the newspaper in our answer copy so that we can transform our reading into marks. That is what our ultimate objective. So let's see. So first one is Lok Sabha to takes off the motion to remove the High Court judges. So that means either the removal of judges of Supreme Court can either be through the motion can be either introduced in the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha, but Lok Sabha to take up the issue. And already I have made a video regarding impeachment of Supreme Court and High Court judges and why it is taking not a single judge has been impeached so far. Already I have discussed in depth. So please go through it and you'll get a lot of insight to it. So Lok Sabha to take off the motion to remove the judge after proceeding in the lower house, it will go to the Rajya Sabha and 152 ruling opposition MP signed the motion against the Justice Verma. You know that to introduction of the motion to impeach a judge of High Court or Supreme Court, we need 100 member support in the Lok Sabha if motion is to admit, and in case of Rajya Sabha, we need 50 member support. Okay? The Lok Sabha will take off the bipartisan motions to remove Justice Yashwant Verma from, currently he is working at the Allahabad High Court, but during this cash that was found, he was working at that time in the Delhi High Court. So he said that it was unanimous decision of all political party 152 MP including ruling and opposition are in favor of introducing this motion. So cash recovery row. So Justice Verma then with Delhi High Court was caught in controversy after half-burn currency notes are found in the official residence. So there is a fire incident happened in the house of Justice Verma, and in there found so huge amount of cash in half-burn condition. And after that there is no no case is filed, and then there is a allegation that corruption is involved. So our then Chief Justice formed a committee to find what happening, and after this committee recommended that yes, something fishy or you can say something corruption is involved, they have recommended the resignation of the Justice Verma. When Justice Verma not resigned, so then only the Chief Justice of India recommended the government and president for removal of the Justice Verma. So then the motion is started. Okay. So that means we have to just currently accepted government in the Lok Sabha. So impeachment motion will be started. So the proceeding will be first taken off in the Lok Sabha and then Rajya Sabha in line with Judges Inquiry Act 1968. So removal of the judges is driven by Judges Inquiry Act 1968. We should so so don't worry. I've already made a video detail about the impeachment process. Please just go through that. You'll get a lot of insight. So there can be a good question in your mains. What is the procedure for removal of judge of a Supreme Court or High Court? And dear student, please confirm like whether my voice and video everything is audible or not. Okay. So please confirm that. So next is the French will recognize Palestine as a state. So, dear student, you should know about there is a conflict that has been going on between Israel and Palestine. So, why this conflict is going on? Because Israel is occupying the Palestine territory and deny the state to the Palestinian. And Palestinian they demand that we need to recognize as an independent nation. So, they are getting huge support worldwide. But after this recent Israel, action in the Palestine, so they are getting more support. So French President Emmanuel Macron said on Thursday his country would formally recognize President Palestinian state during UN meeting September. USA strongly opposed the French move with a Secretary of State Rubio calling it a reckless. So USA that USA is already supporting Israel in their action in the Palestine. So US is opposing the French move. They are saying that France should not recognize Palestine as a territory, and Palestine getting 140 country support, including India, in favor of creation of Palestine state. Several countries have announced plan to recognize its head. statehood since Israel launched bombardment in Gaza nearly 2 years ago in response to Hamas attack. So recently, what happened? Hamas attacked the Israel, and they have taken some people as a hostage. And after that, Israel started bombing the Palestine, and they caused huge damage to the Palestine. So after that, so many countries are in favor of establishment of Palestine state. So next is Moyuji thank India for its pivotal role in economy recovery. So we know that in recent past, so Moyuji, the president of the Maldives, win after using the anti-India sentiments, and after that, there is a remark against our prime minister, and Indian people started, the campaign to stop traveling to the Maldives. So due to that, relation has been very deteriorated. But later on, after the Moyuju visited India, and our relationship on the path of recovery. So the Maldivian president Mohammad Moyuju thanks India for its pivotal role in helping island nation deals with economic crunch and liquidity challenges. So you know that the Maldives is facing severe liquidity crunch because its debt burden is very high, and it is having huge amount of debt from the China. So they have to pay a lot of foreign exchange reserve. So so they have said that charted a clear path for future cooperation. So both said that both are in a very clear cooperation for future path. So there has been a steady reset in ties since Moiju visited India in October 2024, following a serious strain in the preceding year, Mr. Moiju election, because they have started with India out campaign. So AI chief developed hit back as allegation cite support from the center. This controversy is not important for us, but the chip they have developed, the name is very important for us. So countering allegations surrounding Digital University of Kerala invented Kairali AI chip. So you need to know about the university. It is the Digital University of Kerala invented Kairali AI chip. So what is the controversy? If you are able to read it, it's well and good. But this Kerala first AI chip is very important for us. Okay. So development of Kerala first silicon proven AI chip say that project is not commercial. So don't go into the controversy. What is important for us is understand what is the name of that AI chip is Kairali AI chip. So, dear student, you can scan this QR code to join our free NCERT test. There you will get lot of thousands of questions there, so you can practice. You can also get the CSAT test also. It's also free, so available in our website also. And dear student, there is a big question everyone asks me: how they can get this highlighted version of the PDF? You can scan this QR code to download our application. There is a section called Infographics Edition. You can join that. In that there is a premium Infographics Edition, so you can get it. So we are charging 1 rupee per day. It's very less amount. You have to understand there is a lot of effort we need to put to make this highlighted newspaper. So instead of spending 3 hours a daily, you can complete a newspaper just 45 minutes. Just imagine how much amount of time you are saving. That time you can use in your optional study and GS study, answer writing. So you'll have a edge compared to other. So it's a investment worth of investing. And those who are using iOS and iPad device, download our Class Plus application and use our code PKRMEJ. So you'll get all this benefit. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Next important news is, and dear student, if you are practicing for OPSC, there are 5 tests are free. You can just practice them. You can scan this QR code. And if you want to practice the PYQ test also, so you can scan this QR code to get it. So next is USA drop sanction on Myanmar Junta allies after the letter phrase to the Donald Trump. So this is very important. Why it is important? Because Myanmar is our neighbor. So any disturbances, any positive thing, negative thing in Myanmar, that is going to impact our India. Na? So United States has lifted the sanction on several allies of Myanmar ruling general and their military linked farm. So US Treasury notice shows that after Janta chief has sent a glowing letter for praise to the Donald Trump. So you can see what kind of thing is happening. So anyone if praise the Donald Trump, then Donald Trump immediately remove the sanction. So just imagine what kind of world we are living. So principle is on the backside. So this military junta, they seized power in 2011 by a coup, deposing the civilian government and sparkling civilian war has killed thousands and leaving 3.5 million people poverty and homeless. Just imagine what kind of genocide is going on, and Donald Trump recognized such person. You can imagine what kind of world we are living. So next one is Thailand war with Cambodia as 1.37 lakh flee. So Thailand acting prime minister one then Friday that cross-border classes with the Cambodia have uprooted more than 1.3 lakh people could develop into a war-edge country, trade deadly strike for a second days. So a long-running border dispute erupted into tense fighting jet and artillery tanks. So there is recently a conflict is was erupted between the Thailand and Cambodia. So if proper step is not taken, so that can be grown into full-fledged crisis also. And both these country are part of the ASEAN Association for Southeast Asian Nations. So the regional blocks with Thailand and Cambodia both are members. So dear student, tell me the members of ASEAN countries. So it is your homework. You have to study about ASEAN countries. So how many members are there? Or which charter they have established? Headquarter is located in which place? And recently in which summit India is invited the Asian country to our chief guest of our Republic Day. So you have to study about relationship between ASEAN and India. So in detail. Okay. So next important news is French will recognize Palestine as state in September, say Macron. So recently French is also accepting that we need to recognize Palestine as an independent state. So after that, obviously both USA and its both Israel and its ally USA oppose that. They say that it is reckless and it is amount to supporting Hamas. Hamas actually a terrorist organization. They are operating in the Palestine territory. So they attack the Israel just like the Pakistan terrorist organization attack India. So attack India, Israel. So that is the reason there is opposition. But recently there is a gaining traction all over the world in support of Palestine. Even more than 140 countries support the Palestinian state. Even India is in favor of establishment of Palestinian state. So next important news is recently Government of India introduced National Sport Governance Bill. So that will promote inclusivity, safeguard the women athletes. So on this backdrop, this is a good article, so you need to know the introduction of National Sports Governance Bill within a days of launch of Khelo Bharat Niti, that means Khelo Bharat rule or policy. So is defined as a memorable period for Indian sports. As athletes, it's filled with me immense pride that bill emphasize on the gender equality, athlete safety in particular, define our country's sporting foundation going forward. Because recently we have seen so many allegations that in sporting, so many coaches they involved in the sexual harassment, they asking sexual favor, and there is a constant violation of the right of our sports person. So respecting equality and protection of all these athletes, male or female, is an absolutely necessary so that they can play in a peaceful way. So in strict adherence to the Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act, this policy highlighted there is a very strong commitment from government to protect all the athletes. Okay? So next, the policy address the need to safeguarding athletes, be it minor, men, women, from harassment, abuse. Every player deserves to play free of fear and abuse of any gender. Okay? So just read it. You'll get a lot of insights, and you need to study about National Sports Governance Bill detailed provision. They're going to try to establish a tribunal also, so to resolve of dispute. So dear student, tell me in the comment box. So India is bidding for Olympic for which year? Let me see how many of you know that. So India is bidding for Olympic for which year? And dear student, you can scan this QR code to download our application. You can join our Telegram also. There you can interact with me, so you can ask all your doubt. Okay. So next is duty free access to UK visa trade pact drive FDI into India. So recently India and UK, we have signed a free trade agreement. So because of that free trade agreement, whatever the good that is being manufactured in India, only manufactured, not other goods. Whatever goods that is being manufactured in India, let's say this is India and this is UK. If any good is manufactured in India, then that can access free trade, that have free trade. That means no trade on that. It is not that we can something bring from the China and then export. This is not happen. In that case, you'll apply full tariff. So that means anything manufactured in India can have free trade access. So because of that, India can be a good base all over the world. Investor, they bring their FDI, and manufacture good in India and then sell in UK. So because of that, India can emerge as a destination of the FDI and emerge as a powerhouse of manufacturing also. So recently CETA, so you have to remember CETA. We have also signed ICTA. ICTA with which country? Tell me dear student. Recently we have signed two free trade agreement. Recently Dear student, let me tell you once again. So during my discussion, I am going to give you 10 to 15 tasks. And after completion of the video, please do homework. And during watch while you are watching, make note of all the tasks I am giving. And after completion, make note of it. And whatever I am asking, please write in the comment box. Okay. So recently we have signed, apart from this India UK free trade, we have also signed two free trade agreement with a country you have to find. So one, I'm just informing with you. So one, we have signed ICTA with Australia. One, we have signed SIPA with UAE. So you have to study in detail about their provision, challenges, so that you can understand. If they ask about, match the following, like, SITA with UK, they can ask about na. Then like ICTA with UAE. Then they can ask SIPA with Australia. They ask how many above are correctly matched. Only first one is correctly matched. They just reverse, na. So you need to know about that. This kind of question they ask repeatedly, na. CETA includes separate chapter on rule of origin. That means to avail this free trade agreement, you have to ensure that the product is origin from India or UK, which stipulate what kind of good are eligible for reduced tariff under agreement product. So India UK comprehensive economic and trade agreement has potentials to boost foreign investment into India. The the segment that mandate only good made in India could be eligible for tariff reduction. So if something is manufactured in India, that only eligible for the tariff reduction. If we can, import something from China and repackage it and send to UK, that is not eligible for free trade agreement. CETA includes separate chapter on rule of origin. So rule of origin means it should be origin in India. It should be origin within the territory of India. Then only it enjoy the FTAs. So if we export something from China and add some, repackaging, in that case we will not enjoy free trade agreement. So we stipulated what kind of good are eligible for reduced tariff agreement provide. So this was to ensure that only genuine British or Indian good could access the preferential tariff under this agreement. What currently India challenges is facing. So all these Asian country, all these Asian countries, they simply import goods from the China, repackage and then sell it to India. So free trade agreement. So because of this free trade agreement, we are seeing flooding of Chinese good in India through the Asian route. So that is what our concern. So this is an important aspect of deal, since it means goods imported from the abroad, packaged and then exported to UK will not eligible for zero duties. A senior government officials who not wish to name. So this means company looking to export to UK will have to invest proper manufacturing instead of importing country like China. So that is the reason that India can emerge as a hub of manufacturing, and there is a huge amount of FDI we can expect. So he added, while UK opened off 99% of tariff line, India did not export all this tariff line to the UK. So we have just opened 90% of our market, while UK opened 99% of market. So UK India free trade is expected to significantly enhance foreign direct investment to India, particularly in engineering and industrial instrument sector. So with reduced tariff and greater regulatory alignment, UK engineering procurement and construction firm, original equipment manufacturer and process industry investor are likely to find India more attractive source for doing business. So it's a very win-win for our us. So that is going to promote our both economy. So UK India pact avoid source code mandate. So that means whenever we are exporting some software to UK cannot ask us to provide the source code. If we provide the source code, then software they can do the reverse engineering. They go just like WhatsApp. Whatever message you send to your friend, no one know. The moment you know the source code, then we can de-encrypt everything and we know everything what is going on. So that is what the threat. So digital trade chapter of India UK comprehensive economic trade agreement commit both avoid the transfer or access to the source code of software owned by the person of other party. So source code is base of all software application and not typically visible to end user, and this may permit reverse engineering or cyber exploit. If you know the source code, we can rewrite the code and we can copy and create our own. So to write a code, it takes, let's say, 10 years. If you know the source code, you can redesign within 1 year. So that means there is a violation of copyright also. And if you know the source code, that means this system is very much prone to the cyber attacks also, na? Dear student, please comment my voice is audible, everything is okay or not. Please, whenever you join, at least comment me like everything is good, everything is going on or not. Otherwise, it's very difficult for me to understand what's going on. Please, while you are joining, please keep informing everything is good or not. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. ठीक है, just read it out. Next, dear student, we are also providing Odisha specific current affair and Odisha specific newspaper analysis. Gradually, we'll extend it to all other exam also, and we are also going to publish monthly magazine of UPSC and state species specific. So please stay tuned to us. You can join our application to get it there. So airline asked to prevent unauthorized transport of living animal into India. So airline asked to prevent unauthorized transportation of living animals to the India, because in a bid to prevent unauthorized carriage living animal into India, DGCA, that is the Director General of Civil Aviation, which is regulating the civil aviation in India. So why, amid multiple instances reported by the airline regarding carriage of live animal into India by passenger without proper declaration and clearance, classified as a non-ist import. So if we are keep importing the living animal without proper permission, so there might be trafficking, there might be abuse of animal right. So that is the reason we need to regulation. And sometime with, so if we import some animal, let's say USA and other country, so with that animal we can import some virus also. So we need to ensure proper quarantine, na? So going by rule, animal quarantine and certification service, Indian custom and animal were subject to immediate repatriation to their country. So we need to ensure proper systematic handling of this movement of this animal, so that will prevent any sort of any problem, spread of disease in future also. So eight year after the standoff with China, Doklam opened for the tourists. So dear student, you have to map the Doklam. I'm already saying that I'm going to give you a lot of tasks. So whenever I'm giving tasks, please note them down and please practice it after the discussion. So you have to map the Doklam. So 8 years after witnessing standoff between India and Chinese troops, Sikkim, Doklam said to be attract for the tourists. So Doklam is located here. It is India. Chicken neck. It is Bhutan. It is China. So it is located near to the Chumbi Valley. Chumbi Valley. So here there is a there is a Chinese construction that is going on inside the Bhutanese territory. So and Bhutan, we have an agreement, to protect the internal sovereignty of the Bhutan. So Indian army gone there and they have stopped the Chinese construction activity in the Doklam. So the Doklam is a plateau in Chumbi Valley at the tri-junction of the Bhutan, China and India. It became a flashpoint in 2017 when Chinese attempt to build road in the territory claimed by the Bhutan. So Chinese क्या कर रहे थे? So they उन लोग ने आके भूटान के टेरिटरी के अंदर कुछ कंस्ट्रक्शन करने का कोशिश कर रहे थे. सर इंडियन आर्मी, so India intervened to safeguard its strategic interests and support Bhutan and allies. So China halted construction activity in Doklam, also known as Doglang. Uh, 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 and after more than 2 months of controlled standoff, so there is a standoff happened there, so they have Chinese have to go back. The other two sides are Nathula and Chola, where series of clashes between India and Chinese troops takes place. So these two locations are very important because there is a one more conflict that has happened in 1967. There our major name Setan Singh killed so many Chinese. Despite the order from the central government, you can leave your post. The Nathula and Chola, our soldiers, they don't leave the post. They simply killed so many Chinese troops. I think there is a movie on that basis. I think I'm not able to remember that movie, but there is a movie on that basis. Arjun Rampal is the hero in that movie, so you can watch that. Okay? So Sikkim, then Sikkim was actually Indian protectorate state. It was not part of the Indian state and became country 22nd state in May 1975. देखो, in UPSC in past also they are asking lot of events and arrange them in the ascending or chronological order. So whenever you are studying something, please open your mind, open your everything so that you can understand. So Sikkim is formed in 1975. So chronological order you need to know. Following the referendum, nothing much need to be done at the Nathula. So now it is a famous tourist place. Okay, so you need to know that when Sikkim is formed, it is 1975. So next is consensual sex between adolescent in age of 16 to 18 must not be treated as abuse. So what happening currently? देखो, there is an act called POCSO Act, Prevention of Children POC, Prevention of Children from Sexual Offense Act. It prevent 2012. It prevents the exploitation of the children by the sexual exploitation of the children. It is a very gender neutral law. That means it protect both male and female children, and it is also a gender neutral perpetrator. Those who are crime committed, they can be male or female also, and it provide very stringent law for penalizing those who are involved in the sexual violence. And it is a very child friendly law. Once a person is convicted, or there is a court law, the procedure is very child friendly. There is a separate court. The court is very sensitive to the child. But what happening, though this law is very good, but what happening, recently we are seeing that our society is much exposure. We are seeing that because of media, our kids are getting exposed to all this content, of scene and sexual content very often. So they are developing that a sexual relationship in the age of 16 to 18. So what happened because of that, sometimes parent book the person on the pretext of POCSO Act. So that is the reason so many kids, they are not committing anything. It is because of lack of knowledge, because of the society failed, and because of the content they are getting. So they are involved in the sexual activity. If we penalize that kids in a very harsh way, we are damaging the future of that kids. So that is the reason we should not treat them as a abuse. Rather, we'll just treat in a compassionate way. And देखो, this is a relationship with consensus. So we need to accept that there is an emergence of society. Rather treating them, we need to promote the sexual education. We need to promote awareness. Then only we can tackle these things. Okay. So next is Operation Sindoor. Continue. Need to be alert all the time. So this is what said by our Chief of Defence Staff Anil Chauhan ji. So Chief of Defence Staff Anil Chauhan on Friday said that the Operation Sindoor remained progress and highlighted the vital need for uninterrupted military readiness, and there will be no runners off in a war. So in a cricket match, in a World Cup match, if you are runners off, so you'll get a award. But in case of military, if you are defeated, no one will talk about you. Everyone condemn you. So that is the reason we have to win war in the military. So scholar warrior. So this word they can ask about exam. What is scholar warrior? So there is no runners off in the war. We'll give example of Operation Sindoor, which will still continue. Our preparedness should be 24 into 7 and 365 days. We are living in that kind of environment because both our neighbor are very hostile. Not both neighbor, even three neighbors like China, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. So it is only scholar warrior that can ensure this readiness by thinking differently, connecting dots across the complex kind of spectrum. So a scholar, you have to remember this word. So scholar warrior is a military professional who combine intellectual depth, combine the skills, individual possession, both strong academic knowledge and practical military expertise, enabling them to analyze the complex situation and standardize effectively and adapt to the diverse challenge in a dynamic environment. So this is what called scholar warrior. Not only military warrior, but is having very intellectual, understand what's going on, and develop this strategy to win the war. Okay? So I'm just highlighting. So read it, because sometimes you can talk about Indian Army needs scholars, scholar warrior. So like that you can talk in your main answer writing. So that is going to be very unique. So emphasize that essential for the military to learn about both shastra means warfare, and knowledge, warfare and knowledge. We need to learn, our military need to learn the knowledge and warfare, and we need to blend them and develop new tactics. So today needs master of all this level of warfare: tactical, operational, and strategic. So there is three, uh, all three of warfare. So warfare can be three level: at the tactical levels, at the strategical level, and at the operational level. Okay, chaliए. So state can't seek delimitation, claim parity with Jammu and Kashmir. So recently we have known that our delimitation exercise has been freezed by like after 2026 we can do the delimitation. But in case of union territory there is no such restriction, so that because of that only Jammu Kashmir is having delimitation on the basis of 2011 census, and rest of India it is on the basis of 1971 census. So after 2026 we can see there is a removal of the sanction. Why this is in news? So recently there is a petition filed, by the petition filed they are citing that if Jammu Kashmir delimitation is happened, why not the Andhra Pradesh and Telangana delimitation is happened? So Supreme Court said that Jammu Kashmir being a union territory, so they are not part of obligations for following the 1971 census, but Jammu Kashmir is being the union territory, so they can go for 2011 census. But in case of state, there is a constitutional obligation, there is a constitutional restriction that the delimitation can be happen after 2026. So, so this limitation is given. This limitation is given under Article 173. So you can see judgment based on the petition filed by Professor K. Purushottam seeking directions to the center to conduct delimitation exercise in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana to re-adjust seat in the state assembly. The petition has pointed to the exercise done Jammu Kashmir as a precedent, reference, as a reference to do that. There is a specific constitutional embargo, means restriction under Article 170, which mandated that delimitation exercise in state is to be bar until the completion of first census post 2026. That means any census that is going to be conducted after 2026, so then only we can delimit the constitution. So Jammu and Kashmir on the other hand is a union territory, is excluded from the freezing of delimitation. So this provision is not applicable to the union territory. So because of that state government is conducted delimitation exercise. So if there is a question all over India, we are following delimitation on the basis of 2011 census, it is wrong. So Jammu Kashmir, there is a delimitation that is being conducted on 2011 census. Okay. So this is a very good news. UPSC bar candidate for 3 year over the exam misconduct. So that, why this is good news? Because UPSC is nowadays taking very strict action. So that means those who are involved in the corruption activity, those who are involved in the cheating, so UPSC is not going to spare them. That means we can expect better transparency and good exam conduct in UPSC. So it's a good news for those who are hardworking aspirant. So next one is, dear student, if you are preparing for OPSC and if you don't know how to practice test, and if it is very costly test, you are not getting good quality of test, then you need to join our OPSC Prelims test. It's very low price, but you will get high quality questions. We are keeping it very low so that student can have access to it, because I'm seeing that 5,000 4,000 price, so not every student can afford it. So that is the reason we are providing it very less price. So next is 67 lakhs voter may be left out of the draft roll. This is what said by the Election Commission. Almost 66 lakh voters are unlikely to make it to the draft electoral roll published on the 1st of August, according to Election Commission data reveals. So last date for submission of enumeration form is ongoing special revision drive. So there might be 66 lakhs voter left out. So out of that, 22 lakhs are deceased, means died. 7 lakhs are registered more than one constituency, and 35 lakh they are not traceability. So we can see this drive led to the large number of people can exclude. So next is vice president election process begin. Election Commission appoint the returning officer. So here they can ask a lot of question. So who can be the returning officer in case of vice president? It can be either the Secretary General of the Lok Sabha or Secretary General of the Rajya Sabha. They are held on the basis of rotation. So Election Commission of India Friday kicked off the process of holding vice presidential poll by appointing Secretary General of Rajya Sabha PC Modi as a returning officer. Also appoint assistant returning officer. So vice president election necessitated due to resignation of current vice president. So the vice president election is governed by presidential and vice presidential election 1952 and presidential vice presidential rule 1974. So these are providing detailed provision for conduct of election. Vice president is elected by electoral college consisting of member of both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, that including both nominated and elected members according to the rule. So we need 20% as a proposer and 20% as a seconder to the elections to the vice president. Okay. So next is government silent on the reform to address judicial misconduct. So recently, we are seeing that repeatedly, so many judges involved in the corruption. Even the Justice Yashwant Verma case, huge amount of cash is found. But government, or you can say law minister, they have not taken any steps to improve the accountability of the judges. At a time when government is seeking remove Allahabad High Court judges Yashwant Verma from bond currency notes found in his official residence in Delhi. So Union Law Minister written reply Parliament did not specify government stance on legislative reform regarding Supreme Court procedure to address judicial misconduct. So now currently if judges, let's say you are being an IS officer, if huge amount of money found your house, so what will happen? First you will be resigned, then there will be a case file against you. But in case of judges of Supreme Court and High Court, what will it will happen? So there is no procedure for removal. We have to impeach them. We have to impeach them, and impeachment process is very long. And after impeachment you cannot have any other action. That means not even file a case against the judges. So that means we can see there is a violation of inequality, and we are giving huge protections to the judges. So that is the reason rising cases of corruption na? So, Article 124 provides that judges of Supreme Court shall not be removed from his office except order of the President. This is passed when they get support of majority, that is more than two-thirds support present and voting, and that should be more than the total strength of the House. Voting two-third, and the member of the House and voting has been presented to the Parliament on the same session. Okay? So that means both session. That means in the same session, both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha need to pass this resolution. Then only it is given to the president. If president, then only we can say that president is removed. And removal of the High Court is also follow the same procedure, just like the removal of the Supreme Court judges. You can see here it is very complex to remove a judge, because same. First of all, there is a lack of consensus among the political party. Second, we have to remove pass this motion on the same session, which is very difficult. Third one is about the majority. We need is special majority, which is very difficult also. So these are actually few reasons for rising instances of corruption, because whenever there is lack of accountability, so system is more prone to the corruption. So Modi overtake Indira, clock second longest continued prime minister. So after Jawaharlal Nehru, Modi ji became the second prime minister, longest serving prime minister of India. So you need to know that. They can ask about maybe in a small UPS state PCS exam, they can ask, dear student, if you are looking for mentorship, who can guide you throughout your journey, so that you can smoothly complete your preparation, then you can scan this QR code to join our mentorship program. It is very low price, yet you will get high quality evaluation. You can see our feedback. Students are giving very good feedback, because we are treating just like our small brother, and we are providing quality guidance. So you can check out our application or our telegram also. There will get a lot of things. So if you are preparing for 2026, you know that after prelims you will get hardly 75 days, and already very difficult to complete everything in 75 days. So better late than never. So so already I think you have wasted 2 to 3 months. So you can start focusing on either the mains answer writing or essay writing, because in this 4 5 month up to January February, so this is golden period for you to master the mains, and after that you can simply shift towards prelims and complete your prelims preparation. So next is ministry block OTT platform over obscene content. So there are so many OTT platform include Olu, Alt, and Hulchul. So they are promoting pornography and explicit content, so which might impact our people. And dear student, we are also providing a current affairs summary that include everything, like the Hindu, Indian Express, PIB, all important news of the day. So you can scan this QR code to download our application. There, this daily current affairs is already available. You can also check out website also, www.striveis.in. So there also we are providing daily current affair. You can check that. So next important news is children dies in Rajasthan school collapse. So this can be a very good case study in your ethics. So the 28 children injured, eight severely injured, referred to the Jalandhar district hospital. The building has reputedly developed cracks and weakened due to continuous rainfall. So school principal, four teachers suspended for negligence and not informing official about the building condition. So this can be a very good case study about your ethics in your ethics. So what happened? Seven children were killed and 28 injured when a portion of the roof of government school collapsed in Rajasthan Jalandhar district. The building had reportedly developed cracks and weakened under the impact of continuous rainfall. So here you can see lack of callousness, or you can say lack of responsibility or callousness attitude of the school authority officials. Everyone led to the loss of life. Let's say you are the DM of, they can ask about this incident and say, if you are the DM of that particular district, how you can ensure that there should not be anything happen to it, because these small kids, they are coming for education. So when this kind of threat will happen, so do you think that family will send their kids to education? Definitely that is what going to impact the education of village area. So roof of one of the five classroom of government offer school block just assembled, so they've been collapsed. So yes, I think this is what the story. So you can just read it, and this can be a very good example in your case study also. In Bihar, a matter of life and debt. Debt means loan. So in Bihar, increasing borrowing from the multiple sources, both institutional and informal lender, led to the excessive debt burden. Borrowers struggle to repay the loan with high interest rate, while dreading recovery agent who intimidate and harass them. So report of lack of political trust, bringing a regulatory mechanism in the state set to go poll. So you know that since 2020, I have been given 1,100 household to track at least 450 family who default their loan have disappeared. So that means there is high loan in the Bihar. So this is a clear indication of rising poverty. So people are taking loan, but they are not able to repay. So this is a very serious concern. So government need to empower them by providing job, so that people will not depend on it. So give and take. So recently we have signed free trade agreement with UK, and the method or the manner in which we have signed, like we have give something and we have in return get something. That means both UK and India, we are not competitive economy. UK is having export in something else and India is having export in something else. So if there is a free trade agreement, so it is win-win for both. So this can be a learning lesson for the free trade agreement that is we are negotiating with the European Union and USA. India UK trade deal may set templates for the European Union and USA free trade deal. So India UK trade deal, that is called Comprehensive Economic Trade Agreement, CETA. What is that? CETA, signed by two countries on Thursday. It's a good example of give and tax between the two economies of comparable size. While UK has agreed to provide India duty-free access to 99% of its tariff line. So UK is allowing 99% of our good to UK, and we are allowing around 90% of their goods. Okay? So on the other hand, India has opened up 90% of tariff line duty-free import. It is like we have import, we can export agriculture, dairy product. Okay? So it has kept a key agricultural products such as dairy product, apples, oats, and edible oil out of the deal. So we know that these sectors are very sensitive for Indian farmers. So we are kept this out of the deal. That means we are not going to allow any import, free trade agreement on this. So substantially 100% point over time. So so that means the way we are negotiating and UK is accepting this deal is a very good thing, because whenever you are looking the agreement or negotiation between two small equal countries, so we are going to get favorable treaty. But same time, while we are negotiating with UK and USA, being their big economy, so it's very difficult, because a negotiation is been going on with the USA, but we are not getting any outcome. Okay? So this can be a very good template. So next one is healing Manipur. So recently we have seen that after the Maiti and Cookies fighting is going on in the Manipur. So the recently president rule has been imposed there, because civilian government, they have not able to contain that. And in this article is talking about, we have seen past instances misuse of the president rule in the state, and later on Supreme Court in SR Bomai case given a landmark judgment that laid down certain guideline for imposition of president rule in the state. But recently the president rule in Manipur is in good intention, but the thing is that we should see this as an opportunity, and to ensure political dialogue and ensure that everyone should come together to finding a lasting peace to this ethnic conflict, so that people will live in a peaceful way. So next is scientists who made mangrove buzzword. So you know that mangrove are very much important in a coastal area. So if you look into Indian coastal region. So India is rich in terms of mangrove because in our coastal area we found huge amount of mangrove, and mangrove help in protection of our coastal area from coastal erosion. They sequester the carbon, source of the fish. So there are a lot of ecological function that is being performed by the mangrove. So dear student, it is your homework. Study about mangrove. Study about it and make note of it. Okay. So until 90s, so value of mangrove was primarily understood by community that living around them and rely on their fishery resources and their livelihood. But mangrove became a buzzword as a source of coastal protection of coastal area and climate adaptation and source of fishery gained traction after the MS Swaminathan, who is also the father of Indian Green Revolution, promoted. It was in 1989 MS Swaminathan proposed a leading role of mangrove in managing impact of climate change in coastal area. Then only it was quite popular. A rise of frequency of cyclone and sea level rising temperature caused loss of life, livelihood and natural resources. In response, suggested immediate action for sustainable management of mangrove wetland. If we protect the mangrove ecoland ecosystem, then only we can protect our coastal area. So that is what recently even I've seen. I've just yesterday I have studied about, there is a bridge called Siali Bridge in Odisha, where we have Siali coast in the Odisha. We have seen that severe coastal erosion is happening because they have damaged the mangroves. Okay, so this article is talking about all these things, how the MS Swaminathan popularized the mangroves. So the mangroves also help, mangroves also help the reducing the impact of the coastal cyclone. Also the tsunami impact of the tsunami is less area that is having mangrove. So here today is the World Mangrove Day. So, and the report published by India State of Forest report, we have found that our mangrove cover has been increasing as compared to the first year. And in India, around you can say 4,991 square kilometer of mangrove, which is comprising 0.15% of total geographical area, is covered under the mangrove. So these are few facts that you need to remember for your examinations. So Kargil and Pahalgam revamp of the security strategy. So both are learning experience for India. So during Kargil war, we have learned a lot of things, and during Operation Sindoor also we have learned a lot of things. So 26th anniversary of Kargil war was fought between India and Pakistan in icy height of the Kashmir. Okay, so and same thing, Pahalgam attack recently happened. In retaliations to that, we have conducted Operation Sindoor. In that Operation Sindoor, so 4 days of pinpoint and extremely effective strike, Indian military struck 9 terror camps across the Pakistan, took out 11 military bases and bring Pakistan on its knee in 96 hours. Just 96 hours, we have taught them the lesson with the father. So India used BrahMos missile strike the Noor Khan Airways in Pakistan, foothills of the Karana Hill. The crippling by the nuclear weapons storage facility, Pakistan made a request for immediate ceasefire. ठीक है. So we know that Kargil is a watershed moment in India because of conventional fighting capability. So after this Kargil war, we have modified everything. So there is a Kargil review committee. We have modified our security apparatus. We have modified our military strength. We have modified everything. We have modified our border management also. Over 2 decades, India steadily re-strategized its security policy, sending out a clear message to the Pakistan and world that India is not tolerate any misadventure. So, lesson from the Kargil. India has declared itself to be a nuclear weapon state in 1998. India nuclear test prompted Pakistan to test its nuclear also. So that means, all of a sudden, both the neighbor is having nuclear power. And after that, we have seen how all over the world country they impose sanction on the India. And Kargil also happened in backdrop of India's attempt to reconcile with the Pakistan. So Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee visited Pakistan through the bus service, but later on we have seen the attack on the Indian soil. So you can see we are always providing a helping hand, but Pakistan always cut our hand. So Pakistan's strategy is to bleed India through the thousands of cut. So at that time, also the Pakistan is also there is a terror attack that is being happened in the New York, that is called 9/11. So because of that, no one is scared about India's attack. So at that time is also we have parliamentary attack. So after this parliamentary attack, okay. So you can see after this Kargil war, we have established a Kargil review committee set off to make many key recommendations, laying the foundation for many structural changes taken place. So I will put in box, so please note them down. So we have modified our intelligence, everything. Okay, so the war also exposed serious shortcoming in terms of equipment, logistics, and operational. So we have corrected everything. So structural changes, what we have brought: defense intelligence agencies, the National Technical Research Organization (NTRO), then raw IB. We have separated raw IB. So we have set up lot of things. Okay, same thing happened with Operation Sindoor. After we have seen the recent terror strike, after this new government coming into power, we have Pehelgam. After the Uri attack, we have conducted Uri attacks. It was Uri terror attack, September. That strategy fight against terror began to shape. So surgical strike we have conducted. Then the Central Reserve Force convey in Pulwama. Pulwama Air Force carried out the you can just surgical strike in the Balakot. So this time we have also conducted the strike deep inside the Pakistan. So recent Pahalgam attacks set a new threshold by striking key terror location and military asset deep inside the Pakistan. So this is what very important. India has made clear that era of restraint and peasant over. So Pakistan will have to pay heavy price for terror attacks. So this is a clear signal that just like after the Kargil war, we have changed our tactics. Now we have changed our tactics. Any small terror attack, Pakistan have to pay for this price. So from Kargil to Pahalgam, India had to learn many hard lessons. Good news is that India no longer mood of tolerate. Okay, and Make in India, we are promoting currently Make in India weapons, and that is being paid during our Operation Sindoor. We know that how our Made in India weapons much helpful as compared to the imported equipment, because the Made in India equipment, they are locally designed, they are very cost effective, they are very good for our military also. ठीक है dear students, so just read it, you will understand the context. चलिए dear student, this is all about 26th July newspaper analysis. So dear student, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and you know that your like, subscribe and comments really motivate me to provide more content. And dear student, please share this content with your friends so that maximum number of students can benefit from it. And if you have any suggestion, any feedback, you are always welcome to comment in the comment box. Dear student, I'll have to end here. Chaliye, bye bye, take care, have a good day, bye.